Don't take too much of y'all time because I'm actually en route to take one of my babies to the doctor. So I won't be on here long once I get to my destination. But I wanted to talk. I didn't get to go live today like I wanted to. Excuse my background. I am driving. And the topic of this video is neglect. It is literally neglect. It's about neglect. I'm starting to see, excuse that, I need my light fixed. Anyway, I'm starting to see a pattern. So after reading some of this book called Chris, the ISIS Papers, I knew a lot of the information already internally with just being a woman. I knew internally the answer to some of these questions. So the book just confirmed a lot of the knowledge I know. But it broadened the main points that I may have not realized where the tools or where the structure could be fixed at. Because I knew the problem and I knew the solution, but I didn't really know the real problem. I knew the problem, but I didn't know what caused it. So I knew the symptoms. How about that? I knew the symptoms and I knew the effects of the symptoms, but I didn't know what the problem already was. And the problem come from neglect. Neglect. Their word, ooh, it's such a funky word, but it's a real thing. And I think that majority of humans are suffering from some form of neglect. And this is where all these mental illnesses and all these distorted realities and all these, messed up projections and personifications are coming from because of neglect. Um, I do not think that you can show somebody too much attention and they can be hurt from that, but I do believe they can hurt others because of that. So you can spoil somebody and make them terrible people because they don't understand the consequences of depravity, because they've never been deprived, and when they don't know what it feels like to be deprived, they tend to deprive others without the knowledge or the wisdom of what that is. So yes, you can overly help someone or be there for someone and make them bad people too. That's just like you could drink too much water and unalive yourself. They tell you to drink water, but too much water will unalive yourself. So that's just letting you know the balance of life is nothing is just as it seems just because it's what it is. You have to use it for what it is for that reason, or you would just have a messed up situation no matter if it look good or not. So neglect in a sense can make a person a real messed up person, but it can also make a person a good person, just like spoiling a person can make a person a more mentally stable, right? When it comes to everyday life struggles, they'll be more mentally capable because they were not neglected or may have been over cared for, which will have them a better outlook on life versus somebody who had neglect. Now, the way these two people turn out, these different scenarios can turn out two ways on both ends. You can be neglected and become a deranged person, a hostile, fright, flight, or freeze person. Those are all the responses from trauma. So a negative response is those. And then if you have a positive reinforcement in your life, depending on the balance of that positive reinforcement, you could potentially be blindsided to the negative side and then act as if it doesn't exist because you've never experienced it. Therefore, you may not identify when you cause it, and you may not identify with it at all, to the point where you become a bad person just because you just see the world for yourself. So when people, there's no one way to just become whole. You have to see both sides, or at least, because I've seen people who give everything, they got all the support in the world, they got everything handed to them on a platter. They are shitty people, terrible people. I wouldn't trust them with anything. Okay. Then you got people who have had everything, and they are just, that's the reality they live in. They're not living on survival, and all they know is to be generous and to give to others because that's what's been given to them. Then you have people who were neglected, which are majority of people. Majority people were neglected because it's so easy to neglect somebody than it is to care for them. And a lot of the parents are underage because they told us in school that the best ages to procreate was 18, 25. So everybody's having babies for their 30s. And I do believe school has something to do with that. So now we have all these kids having babies, people who don't have their frontal lobe fully developed, having children and trying to raise them and try to teach them something they don't even know. So they're going to get neglected regardless. So everybody was damn near neglected. And we all walking around trying to operate, trying to tell each other who's right and who's wrong. And in our mind, we all are victims. Every last one of us. Again, the people who are not victims usually create victims, because a lot of times people who were given everything are so unintuned with good and bad that they don't even understand when they are depriving the next person. So I'm not getting a solution for this video. This is a video for awareness, and whether you want to be aware of it or not, if this book video lands to you, maybe it was meant for you to get that awareness in your life, because you may have asked to get awareness in your life. You have to ask for these things. Nobody's going to land up on my page and get my videos because they just snooping around on YouTube. No, you're going to find my page because soul wants you to find my page. You ask for questions, and I can guarantee you, if you on my page, you on your path to get the answers. So this video was just to identify and be aware of what neglect is. And the fact that it's a present. It's not even a video to tell what neglect is. It's just to make it aware that it's present in all of our daily lives. And all of us have experience. And all of us has a choice on how we interpret that trauma and that neglect. Because ultimately, that's what it's about. You can have all the trauma in the world happen to you, but you have a choice on how you want to respond. Nobody tells you what to do. Nobody is going to make you do anything. That's like the story of the two brothers whose father was a drunk. It's a story about, and I don't know if you ever heard it before, but most people tell it just like this. And it goes, there was two brothers. Their father was a drunk. One brother grew up, he became an alcoholic just like his father. The other brother grew up and he never drunk any liquor. When they were interviewed after their father passed, they asked the brothers, how did you two turn out two different people with the same parent? They said the same answer, because of my father. So the drunk guy became a drunk because he watched his father. And the one who didn't become a drunk was because he watched his father. That means it's your choice to be who you want to be in this life. Nobody makes that for you. Your circumstance doesn't make that for you. So yes, neglect is the problem in the world. The problem is that people don't acknowledge it and then try to fix the wounds that were caused during the trauma. And I think that's the main focus. Everybody needs to focus on healing themselves before you get into any relationship, any partnership. You're going to go into these situations. You're going to continue to hurt people, or you're going to continue to be hurt until you can heal wounds simply from your childhood. And it's just simple as that. Y'all be easy. Neglect is real, and if you think you haven't been neglected, then check yourself on how you treat others then.